Today, we're exploring the profound role of relationships and community in Buddhism. While the path to enlightenment is often seen as an individual journey, the Buddha emphasized the importance of relationships and the collective support of a community, or Sangha, in nurturing spiritual growth. Our connections with others shape our experiences, beliefs, and emotional well-being. In Buddhism, relationships are not just a source of companionship. They're seen as opportunities for practice, reflection, and mutual growth. Whether it's with friends, family, colleagues, or a broader spiritual community, our interactions offer countless chances to cultivate qualities like patience, compassion, and mindfulness. Before we begin, I request you to kindly like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support is the only motivation for me to keep sharing Buddha's wisdom. If you want any changes in the content making, please comment below and I will definitely work on it. Now, let's begin. The Buddha's own life highlights the central role of community. After attaining enlightenment, one of his first acts was to gather a group of followers to share his teachings. This group, known as the Sangha, became a vital support system for practitioners, providing guidance, encouragement, and a shared commitment to the path. Today, Sangha extends beyond monastic communities to include lay practitioners, meditation groups, and anyone who walks the path of wisdom and compassion together. Let's begin by reflecting on how relationships serve as mirrors. In our interactions, we often see aspects of ourselves, our strengths, weaknesses, and emotional patterns reflected back to us. A moment of frustration with a friend, for example, might reveal our own impatience, while a heartfelt conversation can remind us of our capacity for empathy. Relationships challenge us to practice mindfulness and compassion in real time, offering insights that solitary practice might not reveal. One powerful Buddhist teaching on relationships is the concept of interdependence. The Buddha taught that all beings are interconnected, arising and existing through a web of relationships and conditions. This understanding helps us see that our actions, words, and even thoughts have ripple effects on those around us. When we cultivate kindness and patience, we contribute to a more harmonious world. Conversely, when we act out of anger or greed, we create suffering, not just for ourselves but for others. A story from the Jata Tales, the Buddha's past life stories, illustrates this beautifully. In one tale, the Buddha is reborn as a wise bird living by a river. A dispute arises among the other animals over who owns the river's resources. Rather than taking sides, the bird gently reminds them that the river nourishes everyone and that their well-being is interconnected. Inspired by the bird's wisdom, the animals resolve their differences and live in harmony. This story reminds us that relationships thrive when we approach them with a spirit of unity and interdependence. The practice of right speech, one of the steps on the Eightfold Path, is particularly important in relationships. Right speech encourages us to communicate truthfully, kindly, and thoughtfully. Before speaking, we might ask ourselves, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it kind? By practicing mindful communication, we create trust and understanding in our relationships, reducing the potential for conflict. Consider a moment when you've experienced a difficult conversation. How did you respond? Were your words guided by mindfulness or were they shaped by reactivity? Practicing right speech doesn't mean avoiding difficult topics. It means approaching them with clarity and compassion, ensuring that our words serve to connect rather than divide. Another key aspect of relationships in Buddhism is the practice of forgiveness in our interactions. Misunderstandings and hurt feelings are inevitable. The Buddha taught that holding on to anger or resentment is like carrying a hot coal, intending to throw it at someone else. It burns us in the process. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is an act of liberation. It doesn't condone harmful behavior but frees us from the burden of bitterness, allowing us to move forward with a lighter heart. Let's try a brief forgiveness meditation together. Close your eyes if you're in a safe space and take a deep breath in and out. Bring to mind someone with whom you've experienced tension or conflict. Silently say to yourself, "I forgive you for any harm you may have caused, knowingly or unknowingly. May you find peace." If this feels difficult, start with the intention to forgive, even if the feeling isn't fully present yet. Now, turn your attention inward and repeat, "I forgive myself for any harm I may have caused, knowingly or unknowingly. May I find peace." When you're ready, open your eyes, carrying this sense of release into your day. The role of community, or Sangha, extends beyond personal relationships. A Sangha offers collective support, providing a space to share experiences, learn from others, and deepen practice. The Buddha describes Sangha as one of the three jewels of Buddhism, alongside the Buddha himself and the Dharma, or teachings. He emphasized that walking the path is made easier and often more joyful when we walk it with others. If you're part of a spiritual or meditation group, you've likely experienced the benefits of practicing with the community. The collective energy of a group can inspire consistency and deepen understanding. In times of doubt or difficulty, the Sangha reminds us that we're not alone. And in moments of joy, the Sangha amplifies our celebration, reflecting the shared beauty of the path. Even if you don't have access to a formal Sangha, community can be found in simple, everyday interactions. A meaningful conversation with a friend, a shared meditation session, or even a moment of connection with a stranger can serve as reminders of our shared humanity. In this way, we can cultivate a Sangha of the heart, carrying the spirit of community wherever we go. The Buddha also spoke about the importance of spiritual friendships, or kalyana mittata. A spiritual friend is someone who supports our growth, offering guidance, encouragement, and honest reflection. Such friendships are mutual, rooted in trust and the shared intention to grow together. The Buddha once said that having spiritual friends is not just part of the path, it is the entirety of the path. This teaching highlights the transformative power of connection. Consider who in your life might be a spiritual friend. It could be someone you meditate with, a mentor who offers wisdom, or even a friend who challenges you to grow through their honesty and care. How might you nurture these relationships, offering gratitude and support in return? At the same time, Buddhism acknowledges that not all relationships are harmonious. The Buddha advised practicing discernment in choosing the company we keep, encouraging us to seek relationships that uplift and inspire rather than drain or harm. This doesn't mean avoiding difficult people, but it does mean setting boundaries that protect our well-being and support our growth. As we approach the end of today's episode, let's reflect on how we can bring mindfulness to our relationships. Take a moment to consider, how do you show up in your interactions? Are there ways you can practice more patience, compassion, or right speech? How might you deepen your connections with those who support your growth while also cultivating kindness for those who challenge you? Remember, relationships and community are not just companions on the spiritual path, they are the path itself. Each interaction offers an opportunity to practice mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom, weaving the teachings of Buddhism into the fabric of our lives. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of relationships and community in Buddhism. I hope it inspires you to nurture the connections that matter most and to approach all interactions with a spirit of kindness and mindfulness. In our next episode, we'll explore the Buddhist perspective on impermanence and how embracing change can lead to freedom and peace. Until then, may your relationships be a source of joy and growth, and may your heart remain open to the beauty of connection.